I'm now going to make a picture. But just exactly how valuable it is, we'll never really know, but it's in their interest to say how valuable it is, because what it does is spooks the rest of the Al-Qaeda membership. It might cause some of them to break cover, it might cause some of them to start suspecting other people, and that's a very useful tool for the CIA. So I think even if they'd found nothing except his home videos of his wedding or whatever, I think they would still have said this in order to put the cat amongst the pigeons for the remaining Al-Qaeda leadership. Now, they don't have to meet yet. The Al-Qaeda leadership, the way it's structured Al-Qaeda, its rules and regulations, is that they swore loyalty to the leader of Al-Qaeda. And so they didn't just swear loyalty to Bin Laden. And under the rules and regulations, immediately Ayman al-Zawahiri becomes the leader, because he was the deputy. So they have a leader and they have sworn loyalty to him already, so they don't need to break cover. But I think this sort of information is designed to make them break cover. We're looking at the same pictures that you are. Before this bit about him watching himself, I was struck by two things. One, his beard. You look how black it is. He clearly had access to the hair dye, which he was continuing to use because the streaks of grey were not in it. And also the completely blank background. That was done on purpose, because anything, any wooden tree, any stump, any bit of rock, to a real expert might give them a clue as to location, and he's chosen to have a completely blank background. And then, well, the stuff of him watching himself on television, you know, to be perfectly honest with you, that's just entertainment.
Tim, one other thing that we're not being told, and presumably that's because they don't have it yet, are any clues as to the whereabouts of other people they may seek in the Al-Qaeda framework, particularly, of course, Ayman al-Zawahiri, but others as well. And also, there are suggestions that this material they found proves that Osama Bin Laden was actively involved in operations, particularly in Yemen and Somalia, up until far more recently, and not the retired figurehead that some people have painted him as.
Well, yeah, and I'll be honest with you, Andrew, including myself. I mean, I always argued over the years that he was still the leader, he still signed off on operations, but his ability to actually oversee was severely truncated because, like many other people, like everybody else, I assumed he was moving on the run in remote areas. I mean, not necessarily in a cave, but not in a position to be able to have command and control. Once we learned, in fact, he was in this compound, possibly for several years, then suddenly he's got more of a genuine base, Al-Qaeda, of course, meaning the base. Now, there was supposed to be not communication lines going in and out. That's quite possible. He may have had satellite phones, but also computer fobs, the keys you put into the computer, the memory sticks. The couriers were probably moving the memory sticks around, and on the memory sticks they can take them to somewhere else, and they could have been communicating like that. So I mean, it's fascinating. I think although the CIA are deliberately putting it out there to spook people, I think it's almost certain they have found stuff which is absolutely invaluable, and especially what they'll be looking for is the network, how they communicate, and hold of all this material.
OK, Tim, for the moment, don't go away. Thanks very much indeed. Let's go back to Robert Nisbet in Washington. Robert, first of all, if you've got any more information or updates from the security services there, please give them to us. But otherwise, on a political spectrum,